Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project and Magnetic Reversal News, bringing you a COVID-19 update Saturday, March 21st at 10 p.m. Mountain Time, 2020. The official numbers from Johns Hopkins, 305,000 confirmed worldwide. Deaths just pushed past 13,000 worldwide. Now, if we want to bring this into perspective, December, January, February, March, in the last 4 months, less people have died than by alcohol poisoning worldwide. That number with alcohol poisoning would be somewhere around 36,000 as of now. So the death toll is low, but that does not mean it will not increase. And let's talk about that. U.S. just jumped to 25,000 based on an increase in testing, putting it to the number 4 pole position worldwide. We'll get to the numbers in a little bit. Now, as far as the latest live updates, states are warning that medical supplies are dwindling, but they leave out the word medical here because they're trying to make you panic. But you should stay out of the hospital because as cases spike, hospitals will be overwhelmed in these hot spots. And as far as of now, Vice President Mike Pence and his wife have been tested and tested negative for the virus. So there's good news coming in there. One other thing I wanted to point out that Mike Pence earlier today pointed out that they are not testing people. They're saving the test for the sickest people. So the numbers we're getting are far from real. The number of confirmed cases is far too low. The number of deaths probably far too low too because China's probably hiding deaths. So the death number is probably higher. The total confirmed cases is not higher because this is the total confirmed cases, but the actual number of cases is in the millions, folks. Let's just be honest. This is a coronavirus. Now, the U.S. virus plan anticipating an 18-month pandemic with widespread shortages. Once again, these are medical shortages. There's plenty of food supply and other durable goods. Now, if you're talking about like porn magazines and stuff we really don't need, there might be some shortages in that. So I don't foresee a worldwide food shortage anytime in the near future because we have enough food to feed the world over about 3 times right now, and it's just not getting into the right places. Now, New York waives 4 temporary hospital sites, including Javits Center, because they are now the new hotspot with over 10,000 cases in that region. They are rapidly going to grow as test kits get there. But remember, 90% of the population does not require hospitals. And cash is no longer king. This should be, well, I store cash, so I started to get a little worried upon hearing about this. But cash is no longer king in the near future. It'll be something good for you to hold and take it out of the stock market for safety and security. But many regions that are blowing up with this outbreak, they don't prefer cash. So you're going to be using your plastic. Make sure to wash your cards if you're going out in public and putting them in those machines. Make sure you wash your cards. Maybe wear a pair of rubber gloves. Wash everything when you're out in public. Wash your door handles in your cars, everything you touch, because that's where you're going to spread it and that's where you're going to catch it. Now, we're trying not to catch this because we don't want to spread it to the vulnerable population that may have to get to the hospital. And at the time that they have to get to the hospital, when the hospital is overwhelmed, that's when you don't want to be there. Because your loved ones may bring you there, go there with you, and then you're going to get them sick. So the last place anyone wants to be during a pandemic is in the hospital. Now, Guard activations expected to rapidly increase. Many people reporting on National Guard being deployed across the country because they are. Because people are going to act poorly in areas that are now under lockdown. Places like California where nobody heeded the warning of shelter in place and they just all decided to walk down the river walk. It's where we need the National Guard because people are just, they don't listen. They're not that smart. New York City is, tens of thousands of people on the street buying food from food carts and stuff today. And that's just not going to be able to happen. If we want to nip this in the bud, the National Guard is going to be needed to keep the peace. Not because of martial law. There is no martial law. There will be no martial law. People talking about that are ridiculous. Now, if everyone acts like an idiot and lights Molotov cocktails and starts looting buildings, whoa, martial law, boom, is going to happen. But there is no need to start looting buildings when supermarkets, liquor stores, and everything else is open, including the mini mart. You can get your scratch offs. All the people that would light things on fire and break windows are going to be able to get the drugs and alcohol and scratch offs that they need to act sane, hopefully. Plus, they're on paid vacation by the government. The government is working out a plan to pay those people $1,200 a month or more to buy the liquor and the scratch offs that they need. So that's good news. The National Guard is just out to keep the peace and to maybe take action if they need to, if the citizens don't act accordingly. There is no martial law planned. So calm down. Now, here's some real facts that we're going to have to share with you. This is going to be the medical portion of the update tonight. Coronavirus. People with type A blood face a heightened risk of infection. And I'm going to reveal to you all that I'm type A negative. And I smoke a lot. So there's that. So I might just catch the Wu flu and go bye-bye. You see, I'm shivering. Wait a minute. Maybe I'll just take a little bit of my nutraceuticals. Hold on. Okay. Much better. All right. Back in action. Now, medical researchers in China have suggested people with certain blood types are more prone to the infection to this particular strain of coronavirus than others, and that would be the A type. And we've covered this in previous podcasts. People who have blood type A are more vulnerable to infection from the coronavirus, according to the report in the South China Morning Post. So you right-click on South China Morning Post and you open link to go do that. And then it will give you the leads you need to do the research to see if they're actually reporting correctly. And that's how we fact check. And here it is coming from China Society. People with blood type A may be more vulnerable to coronavirus, study finds. Now, you then have to go find the study to make sure that they actually had a study and they just didn't say. So that's how you do research, folks. And I'm just a little side note. So there's some of the facts coming in. And let's just close this down to get a little bit more bandwidth because the internet may shut down during all this. So many people are tilting the internet towards collapse. And it's, in my opinion, that if the internet collapses, well, that's game on. People are going to get squirrely real quick. Now, this paper, not peer-reviewed, coming out on March 10th, suggests that high temperature and high humidity reduce the transmission of COVID-19, which is good news for the Northern Hemisphere as we are entering summer. It's only the beginning of spring, so you can imagine in a few months, it's going to be warm and humid in some places, especially the places where the outbreak is occurring like New York City. So we're going to see if this is true, this paper, in just a few months. It should heat up in New York City, and there should be some really hot and humid days late in the spring. Typically, they get them, and early in the summer. So this paper actually investigated, I read the abstract here, the humidity influence of transmission of temperature and humidity influence of transmission of COVID-19 based on the patients in Wuhan and across the different prefectures in China. They did an excellent job of statistical analysis, and I tend to believe this paper. So a lot of people claiming that this is not true, that it doesn't have anything to do with temperature, we're all going to die. Not based on science, just based on fear and psychotic reporting, in my opinion. Now, as Anthony Fauci almost laughed behind the president while he was suggesting chloroquine was a miracle drug, like, oh, no. French reporters are reporting that chloroquine is a miracle drug. So it's just that these people in power positions don't have time to research all the papers. They all tend to look like idiots at one time or another, including Anthony Fauci, while he was laughing behind President Trump when President Trump was suggesting that chloroquine might have some promise. And at the same time, I believe Bayer or some other scumbag pharmaceutical company donated 300,000 doses to the U.S. So good job, Mr. President, because chloroquine, in fact, the doctor reporting on this paper said that the first COVID-19 patients he had treated with the drug chloroquine had seen rapid and effective speeding up of the healing process. Let me repeat that. The first patients that he had treated with the drug chloroquine had seen rapid and effective spreading of the healing process. Now, this is just one doctor's opinion on the front lines that's actually seeing this work, but who wants to believe him? Certainly not Anthony Fauci. So, and oh, by the way, a sharp decrease in the amount of time they remain contagious. I wonder if that's important. Probably not. Let's just laugh it off. Now, you want to laugh something off? Vaccines. Let's laugh them off. Because here's the bombshell that you've been waiting for. Influenza vaccine and respiratory virus interference among the DoD personnel during the 2017-2018 influenza pandemic. This is bad news for COVID-19 and those people running out to get flu shots to help prevent this disease or anything about it. Now, if you have a flu shot, and I want to see the stats on this, I believe that all the people that are dead probably have flu shots, and that it's actually the flu vaccine that causes this interference. It's not a good interference. It's a bad interference. Now, receiving influenza vaccinations may increase the risk of other respiratory viruses, including the Wu flu, the China flu, the China pneumonia, the Wuhan 400, or whatever you want to call it, COVID-19. It's all the same thing. It all originated in China, and they tried to cover it up. And those are the facts. By the way, it's not the Chinese flu. It's the Chinese coronavirus, because this is not a flu virus. It's a coronavirus. Can we please get the facts straight? And the facts are that if you got a flu vaccine and you get the coronavirus, you'll probably die based on this paper, because there is an interference. There is an increased risk of other respiratory viruses, particularly the novel one that's killing everyone with pneumonia. Now, this phenomenon is known as virus interference, and it's like a blocking play in a football game where the vaccine prevents your body from fighting off the new novel virus. So this is very bad news for all the people who have been duped into getting flu shots their whole life, which almost never protect from the flu. And what we're going to glean from this is that all you have to do during the flu season is not go near crazy young people and shelter in place if you're old or sick. And we could save a lot of lives that way. But I don't think that that's what we're going to learn from this pandemic. I think we're going to learn that our civil liberties are about to be stripped one by one as we all are locked down and scared and supplies dwindle. Now, did you know that the first known case of coronavirus has been traced back to November in China? This is common knowledge for the last 7 days. Not a single mainstream person is picking up on this or reporting on it. They're all like saying like, yeah, it's like December or January or something. But it was earlier than that, which makes these numbers even more fraudulent. And some more fraudulent information here. Second dog tests positive for coronavirus as owners warn not to abandon pets. Well, this headline would certainly make many scared people abandon their pets right now, scared for their lives for no purpose. Because if you don't know the nature of coronaviruses, they're species specific. That means that this human novel coronavirus is a human coronavirus, not the dog virus. It's not a canine virus or a bat virus. It may have come from bats in a lab in Wuhan, BSL-4 lab, but it certainly can't affect dogs. It's a human virus, not a dog virus. You can't give your dog the flu, and you can't give your dog your cold. So this is just stupid reporting by, well, almost all reporters can suck it, so it doesn't even matter why I'm even talking about this. And then if you read down to the fourth paragraph, after the title, which scares every pet owner to death, it says, the new case comes, blah, 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 after in South Korea, they tested Pomeranians for a week positive. Week positive? That sounds like a fake drug test for a urine analysis for work. You want to know the facts? The facts are that the American Veterinary Medical Association said that infectious disease experts in multiple Not one, not two, not three and a half, multiple international and domestic human and animal health organizations. That's quite a few. All agree that there is no evidence, not a single shred at this point, to indicate that pets can get COVID-19 or that they even spread it to other animals, including people. Ah! Now, you want to know the facts. Cough or sneeze in a tissue or your sleeve, because you will get shot if you cough in public and you don't do that. They'll get you. They'll get you. You'll be shanked right up in the third and fourth. Anyway, stay home if you're sick. Don't be a prick. Stay home if you're sick. Don't be a prick. Frequently wash your hands if you're out in public. Once you touch 10 or 12 things, you better hit the bathroom, because you're going to rub your eyes, or lick your finger, bite your nails, or even smoke a cigarette. Keep touching your lips. It's on you to remember who's responsible for you, and that would be you. So once you go touch all that stuff and buy all the stuff you thought you needed, go in the bathroom, wash it, hand sanitize, clean your handles before you get in the car and pick your nose. Now, number 4, don't pick your nose. Don't bite your nails. Don't smoke. But most importantly, avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth with unwashed hands, like I just said. Wash your hands after using shared keyboards or work machines, vending machines. Why are you in public? You're supposed to be sheltering in place, you pricks. Avoid close contact with people who are sick, unless they're your grandma and you get the disease, you millennials. You get it. You stay there. You stick it out with them. Never did anything good anyway. Now, coming from the World Health Organization, which is a joke. I'll leave you links anyway. Coronavirus disease advice for the public. But you just heard the best advice from anyone in the business on what you should do to survive and thrive in the future. And that's help us all stop spreading fear and start changing the narrative. Spread love. Be prepared, not scared. Start planting seeds in the Northern Hemisphere. It's spring. Do like grandma, but don't get her sick. Stay away. And help us all flatten the curve. This is not a fearful pandemic where a lot of people are going to die. Some will, especially those in major cities, because it's going to spread like wildfire there because no one listens to rules anymore. But the best case scenario we can have is in the next month or so that we actually, because we reacted so quickly, thanks to the president locking down the borders with China, while the Democrats didn't want it to happen. And yet Joe Biden is running on a platform that the president didn't act fast enough. Although I voted against his plan to block the border in China, I will never say in public. That senile prick, if you vote for him, please unsubscribe to my channel. But let's get back to the facts. We're trying to flatten the curve here. And that means that we all stay home, we all stay safe, we all read a book, and we learn how to grow something. Learn what's important, spending time with your family and friends, learning new skills, because the powers that be are going to rob you of the rest of your civil liberties in the coming years anyway. As the magnetosphere wanes, the magnetic reversal ensues, crop loss and failure will become evident in the coming years. We are entering grand solar minimum. It's only been getting worse, and now we have space weather and comets, religious zealots, and who knows what. And we need to flatten this curve so we can get back on track. And the curve is vertical, by the way. There is no flattening in sight. So this narrative they'll be able to control this for at least a month or two. And that's time for you to start formulating a plan on how you will respond moving forward. Each and every moment is precious. The only time you're alive is right now. And I hope you're listening to this. Fear is a liar. 99.9% of you will not die. Actually, 99.99. But a large percentage of you are scared. Learn how to meditate. If you can get to the woods, take a walk alone. We're connected to national forest on both sides of our property. We have enough supplies to live here for a very long time without ever going to the store. Can you say the same thing? Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance and provides peace of mind to those that are inclined. We wish you all the best. We love each and every one of you. Thanks to all of our one-time donors, our Patreon supporters that stick with us. Please share this video with like-minded people. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. The algorithm is killing us. We're buried in it. We need you now. Be safe.